did go in. I went up the stairs and waited above Morley's landing till I could be sure of getting him alone. Then a bearded gent came out and went down the stairs. I was just making up my mind to go when another gent came out and went down the stairs too. I knew I had to be quick. I went along and nipped into his room without knocking. I was all set to have it out with him. But he was lying there dead, and I could see the bullet hole in his head with a black crust of blood round it. It was cold. I knew I was in a jam then. They were going to say I'd done it. I hadn't touched anything except his hand and the doorknob. I wiped that with my handkerchief both sides as I went out. There was nobody in the hall and I let myself out and legged it as fast as I could. That's the truth. He was dead already. You've got to believe me.
By telling me the truth, you have just saved yourself from being hanged.
I don't see it. They're going to say if I'm...
Brother, your story has confirmed what I knew to be the truth. You can leave it now to me.
Jack? Ah, Poirot. Yes? Yes? What? No, Poirot. Well, I'll have to get clearance on this, you know. Go on. Yeah. Right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Chief Inspector.
Mr. Hercule Poirot, sir.
Thank you.
This is about Miss Sainsbury Seal, is it? Have you found her?
I hope you do not object, Monsieur Blunt, but I have invited a few other people to join us.
I'm not walking through the streets in handcuffs.
You walk through the streets in anything I tell you, my lad.
I hope this is a matter of importance, Alistair. That Belgian detective sent a most insolent message to us.
Mother? Miss Neville to see you, sir.
Mademoiselle Neville.
Are there many more, Monsieur Poirot? If so, we may be more comfortable in the boardroom. Is the boardroom free, Miss Montressor?
Yes, Mr. Blunt. Frank!
All right. He's still in His Majesty's custody, you know. Show a bit of respect. Come on.
Mesdames et Messieurs, good afternoon. Since the beginning of this case, 3 people have died. Pauvre Monsieur Morley, pauvre Monsieur Amberiotis, and pauvre Mademoiselle Sainsbury Seal.
I thought she was still missing.
No, Mademoiselle. In fact, Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile was dead even before the investigations of this case began. The porter at Lichfield Court told us that Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile had been to visit Madame Chapman. He saw her go to the apartment and be let in. She never came out again. No. Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile was never ever seen again until the police, they broke in to the box room of Madame Chapman.
You mean it was Maybelle Saint-Brécile's body in that flat after all?
Indeed it was, my dear Mademoiselle Neville. You see, it was a very clever double bluff. The disfigured face was meant to raise the question of the identity of the woman. But for me, the case, it began with a shoe. As I left the dentist's after my séance, a taxi stopped. A door opened, and the foot of a woman prepared to descend. It was a foot that was well shaped, with a good ankle, and an expensive stocking. The shoe was new, shining, patent leather, with a large ornate buckle. And when the rest of the lady came into sight, to be frank, it was quite a disappointment. As Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile descended from the taxi, she caught her shoe buckle and it was wrenched off. I picked it up and returned it to her.
Not at all, madame. Oh dear.
Thank you.
You are welcome, madame.
Thank you so much.
That was all. The incident, it was closed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Blunt, to interrupt. I finished the post. Is it all right if I leave now?
Oh, no, please. Mademoiselle Montresor, please come and join the party.
Monsieur Poirot is expounding some extremely entertaining theories.
Please.
Go on, Poirot.
Thank you. When Chief Inspector Japp summoned me to Lichfield Court, because a body had been discovered, the first thing that I noticed was a shabby buckled shoe.
Well?
You have failed to appreciate the point, Monsieur Blunt. It was a shabby shoe. It was a well-worn shoe. But you see, Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile visited the apartment on the evening of the same day of the murder of Monsieur Morley. So in the morning, they were the new shoes. In the evening, they were the old shoes.
I can't see why that's important.
Eh bien, mademoiselle, Poirot does not like things he cannot explain. Madame Chapman took a size 5 in shoes. I knew that Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile wore a 10-inch stocking. That is to say, she took at least a size 6 in shoes. So I went back to re-examine the body. My idea was that the face had been disfigured to hide the fact that it really was the body of Madame Chapman dressed in the clothes of Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile. Mais non. The shoe on the body was size 6. So it looked as if it was the body of Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile after all. But then why was the face so disfigured? By coincidence, the dentist of Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile was also the dentist of Madame Chapman, Monsieur Morley. But he was dead. However, the records, they would have still existed, huh? So the successor to Monsieur Morley would have been able to positively identify the body as that of Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile.
Could you identify the body from these records?
I could, sir. It was not Miss Saint-Brécile. It was Mrs. Sylvia Chapman, another patient of Mr. Morley's.
But if it was the body of Madame Chapman, why was she dressed in the clothes of Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile? An interesting problem, n'est-ce pas? So, I cast my mind back to the Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile whom I had met, whom the Chief Inspector Japp had met.
I used to be an actress. Just small parts, you know. Then I went on a world tour.
And although everything about her and everything she said was in perfect accord with her given character, I am now convinced that the Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile whom we had met and the Mademoiselle Saint-Brécile who accosted you, Monsieur Blunt,
You don't remember me, Maybelle. Gerda and I were on tour together.
They were not the same woman.
You mean Miss Sainsbury Seal was murdered and someone else took over her identity?
Précisément. A game that is very dangerous, n'est-ce pas? But the rewards, they were very high.
Rewards? What rewards?
In just one moment, if you please, Madame Olivera.
Perhaps Mr. Morley was murdered because he would have been able to identify Miss Sainsbury Seal's body by her teeth.
Perhaps. However, now we must face the facts. In the beginning, we believe that the body of Monsieur Morley was first discovered by the page boy Alfred at about 1:30. But the fact is, I now know that the body was first discovered by Monsieur Frank Carter about 1 hour earlier at about 12:30. Two things occurred between the death of Monsieur Morley and the discovery of his body by Monsieur Carter. The lady whose shoe buckle I retrieved was shown into the surgery of Monsieur Morley. While her accomplice drags the body into the office of the secretary, the second Mademoiselle Sainsbury Seal changes the labels on the files of Monsieur Morley to ensure that the body would be identified as that of Madame Chapman. She then leaves. Alfred shows in the next patient to the surgery of Monsieur Morley. Now, Monsieur Amberiotis had never before met the dentist, Monsieur Morley.
It's been troubling me since the journey from India.
So our murderer, he was able to assume his identity. This dentist tells to Monsieur Amberiotis that it would be best to freeze the gum. He then administers an injection which contains a dose of Novocaine and adrenaline, which is sufficient to kill him 6 hours later.
But why? Why would anyone want to kill this man?
Because Monsieur Amberiotis had learned something from Mademoiselle Sainsbury Seal. He had learned a secret. And a secret that could make him a very rich man.
I wish to speak to Mr. Alistair Blunt.
And Monsieur Amberiotis, he was a blackmailer.